I see two people are with me. Melissa, is that you? Are you the other person? Can you hear me? Melissa, if that's you and you're watching this, right there in the comments where it says Casual Aquatics, put a link, click on that. Click on that StreamYard link that I have right there in the comments. If you don't have the comments pulled up, the live chat, go to it. It should be right there, like at the bottom of the screen, if you will. Click live chat. That will pull up the comments where people are talking. Now, Melissa, pull up that the live chat, the comments. 3 people watching, 2 people watching. Would you put in the comments who you are? Melissa, yay! Now, right above Michigan, thank you so much for stopping in. Melissa, you're going to click on where it says, like, I commented, I put something, StreamYard. You're going to want to click on that and then just follow the steps. I'm going to start inviting people, sharing the live out. Normally, people don't show up for like the first 10, 15 minutes. So I try to just promote the actual live as it's going. Melissa, you're the best. She is pretty cool, huh? I'm excited for her to be here. As everybody starts joining in, it's going to be slow to start for a minute. We got to get Melissa set up and ready backstage. Um, Share the live out, guys. Let's try to get some people in here. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Cooper! What's up, friend? I'm going to have to get Cooper on here at some point. He said he ain't never been on camera, not even on his own channel, but I'm going to have to try to get Cooper on to old Casual Aquatics. Yeah. Hey. All right, all right.
Hold on, I'm not in position.
No,
Can you
you
see the
can
tank?
click on. Ah, yeah. If
Okay,
you
good.
need a, if for whatever reason you need to like blank out your screen, I believe you should have a little thing at the bottom, and it says stop cam or mute mic, and it'll just put like a little thing over
Oh,
your
yeah.
face if you need to reposition or whatever, just for
Okay,
future heads up. I
there's
am
my dog.
I am currently trying to just get some more people in here, like share the live as it's going now and groups and stuff. So if you just want to wait a minute before you
Yep,
actually start getting into your presentation, I think that'd be a lot better.
sounds good. I'm just trying to get my fish tank in. There.
I'm actually going to go grab my chair and get situated so everybody can see my purdy tank. Here's
Okay.
you a little quick view, and anybody that's watching right at the very moment. So yeah, just give me 1 minute. And if you see how that just went blank, that's how it would do for you if you needed to.
Got it. Okay, cool. I can't see what people are writing.
You can't see the chat?
No.
Over on the right-hand
Oh,
side, you should be able to switch from comments, I believe.
I see.
In
Okay,
Michigan, yes,
I
you
see.
can.
Okay.
I have started all of my tanks with tap water, and where I live, we have hard water, like really high pH. Like my pH levels are anywhere from like 7.6 to 8.9, man. And I've cycled all my tanks with them. So thank you for asking the question. And I don't know if it was for me or Melissa, but I just
Oh,
went ahead and answered.
okay. Actually, I do the same as you, Sean. I use my tap water. But my pH isn't that high. It's around
No.
no, it's around 7.
Okay. Well,
So when people ask a question, will we see it immediately on here?
it'll be like maybe a little delayed, but like if you've seen how Michigan just asked that about can I use tap water, or are you seeing it because I shared it up there on the screen?
Oh, okay. So that's why I'm seeing it. Okay,
Okay, right up there on.
I'm gonna go get my cord from my phone. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Everybody, if you would share this out, let's start getting some people in here. I'm gonna share on a couple more social media platforms. I know we'll have a few more people popping in here shortly, around like 6:30 or so.
I'm just plugging in my phone so it doesn't die.
You're alright.
It's not going very well.
Is that a bow front tank I see in that back corner just your personal little tank, or is that one of the ones that you're going to be showing us today?
Oh, yeah, I can show. Yeah, I'll show it today.
Hey, we got 4 people. Let me know in the comments who you are. And like that, smash that like button, share that live stream. Let's get a few more people in here before Melissa starts telling us about her sassy snails.
This tank?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. How do I make things bigger? Can I zoom in?
I can put the screen on you like that, and then everybody sees your whole screen. Like, I'm not sure about on your. Are you using your phone?
I am.
I don't know if you could like zoom in or exactly how to. Maybe if you turn your phone sideways. I don't know if you have it upright or not, but that might change it. But
No.
well, no. So I guess we're gonna have to just roll with it.
That's. So where did you go now? Oh, there you are.
Okay. See, that's what I mean. I can like put the focus on your phone, your screen, and then I don't know. Are you using the front camera or like the back camera? Like I don't know if you can switch your. Okay, if you switch to your back, it might become a bigger view when you're like giving the tour, and then when I put it on, like when I put the screen on yours, then yeah, and then like look, so then you'll have that whole, and that we'll be seeing you. We won't see me or any of the other guests that might come up. I know my buddy Calvin's going to be coming in, and he'll be up here with us at some point. So yeah.
But let me know if you can't see, because I don't really know what I'm doing. So just tell me.
No, it's cool. Hey, can you see that question?
Can I add fish right away in my tank? No, don't do that. I just got done cycling 10 tanks in about 4.5 weeks.
Mystery Snail Guardians, thank you very much for stopping in. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine. And it works much better once you get things cycled. It's healthier for the fish. It's healthier for the snails. So I wouldn't add anything right away, because it's kind of very difficult and hard for them when they're in there. The ammonia spikes, the nitrate spikes are really hard on them. So I wouldn't add any in. That was my mistake, what I did with some of my tanks. Have you done that, Sean?
Yeah, I have done fishing cycles, but I agree. If you have the time to wait and just cycle your tank, it will take longer if you're just using like bacteria and quick starts. But in order to avoid maybe killing some fish and whatnot, it might be best. However, if you want to do the quicker route, I would say don't buy your favorite fish right away. Buy some rosy red minnows, something like that, to get the poop in there, which starts the cycle and bacteria and stuff. So and then as it slowly progresses, then have a test kit and go from there. Some people say that's not good, but I mean, to each their own, I suppose.
Some people say what's not good? To cycle with the fish? Or
yeah,
without?
like
with.
I think a lot of people say that doing a fishing cycle is bad, But if you keep up with your water changes, you literally do daily water changes. Here, I'll take it off of the
Tonight.
solo for now. If
That's
you
much better. I like it with you
yeah,
here.
sorry. If you do your daily water changes with your fish in, and that's every day, folks, not just okay, I'm gonna do 50% today and I'm not gonna do it tomorrow, but then I'm gonna do it Wednesday. No, every single day, and it can work. It can happen. I have cycled all of my tanks fish in, but for somebody just starting out, maybe it's easier to not do a fish in cycle, and maybe you'll reap the reward because you waited and you know that tank's perfect, and now you went out and you bought $100 worth of fish and they're all your favorites, and you can throw them in and know that, hey, I'm not going to kill these guys now as long as I maintain. So in my opinion, that's my thought. Muppet, thank you very much for stopping in. T-Bone Fishes, what's up, buddy? How you doing? T-Bone, I believe you should have a badge. I'm not sure. I let people know you were live. We'll see if it does any good. Muppet, you're awesome, man. I ain't nobody big. I try to share in all the groups, and I just try to put some knowledge out there and talk fish. A lot of these lower end, I don't want to say that. Let me take that back. Not lower end, but not big names. So people like me, they go all off the wall in their live streams talking about everything but fish, it seems like. So that's just what I want to do with my live stream. Actually talk about fish, help one another, all aquatics, plants, snails. Miss Melissa here about to give us a little tour of her snails and how she goes about them, how much she sells them for, and the whole bit. And quite honestly, I mean, 3 or 4 people, we're starting to get there. I don't know if you're ready to like just dive right in and give an intro and go from there. I can give you the floor, and I'll watch for more people to come in. And yeah, I mean, if you wanted, you probably could go ahead and start.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to, if you personally want to in the band groups and in the Facebook groups put like one more shout out. Hey, I'm really on here, guys. Maybe come check me out. Or if not, we can go ahead and you can start. Either way, they're going to see it on the after or on the live. I would love for them to attend live. Sorry, I'm stumbling. But, however, whatever. Michigan has another question.
You want to post?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and post in a couple of them.
Well, it depends. Like, I keep guppies, so. Okay. I keep fancy and snails. My rule is 1 fish or snail per gallon. I know different people
what's up,
that.
friend?
But once your tank
thank you for coming through.
Is cycled, I had one of them put tons of fish in there, and it was fine. But one or two, I say 1 fish per gallon guppy wise. What Michigan, what kind of fish do you have? Sean, if you have people that are asking questions and I don't see it, interrupt me. So you're going ahead and posting it and I start?
No, yeah, that's absolutely fine. If you want to start, I'll give you the screen. It'll be all on you again, and I'll let you know if there's any questions that pop up. All right, everybody. So I'm gonna let Melissa have the screen, and we can take.
First of all, hi everybody. My name. I'm Melissa Ann Bridges, and I am a beginner level with snails and fish. I originally got into this because I wanted to be a marine biologist when I was younger, but the work was very difficult, and once I found out I had to work hours, eventually I was out of there. So I recently moved into my apartment, and basically my apartment is an aquarium setup. So when I take you around in my tanks, just forgive me because it's messy because I just moved in. My first priority is getting my snail and fish settled in, more than getting me settled in. So there are 8 different colored mystery snails. And I have them here. I don't know if you can see them in my little egg container. So I have one that's getting away. So let me pull. This is my purple one. What I like about the purples is they have a dark foot, and they have these beautiful. This is probably a middle-aged snail. We also have white ones. Now I'm located on Facebook and I'm on Band, and my snails are, the pricing is, I'm flexible with the pricing because I just don't want them to be eaten by puffers or anything like that. The shipping, I'm shipping out of Lake Orient, or I just moved from Rochester, Michigan, and shipping will be $10. This is a brown one, and you can see this guy's about a year old. He's pretty big. Now this is a blue one, and you're gonna see some white stuff on him. That's a cast. She fell, and I casted her with an eggshell, the skin of it. And I've always wanted to do live for you guys, so I have a snail that might need a cast. I don't know if we have time or not, but I can cast it for you and show you how to do that. Some people
That'd be great.
People believe in it, some people don't know. Now I have a pink one, and you can see this pink one is sick. She was in with a bunch of males, and you can see this top part sticking out. That is just it's called a swollen foot, and she's not too much. So I have her in her own little tank right now. But this is the pink one. I have a prettier pink one to show you though.
Ooh.
So there's 8 different colors. There's pink, purple, green and white, black and brown, jade. Here's a jade one right here, and a gold. Now the jade is kind of cool because the jade is actually a gold shell with a dark foot. So that's how we get the mix of the jade color in here. I'm having struggling trying to get this in the picture. There you go. And I also have differences. Here is one that's probably about 4 weeks old. Let's see how little he is. Now, when I hatch these guys, they come in clutches, and I'll show you that in a little bit. And I can get anywhere between 3 to 100 snails in one clutch. And right now, I have about 40 different clutches. And she wasn't feeling so good, so she's on her own. But usually when they put in some stress coat, and that actually really helps them quite a bit. And here's my last one. Here's my gold one. So I have 10 tanks, and I cycled them all in about 5 weeks. It was quite a horrible process, but I felt it was really necessary because now everybody's really healthy.
All the snails. Sorry, I'm gonna butt in.
Cycle. Let me show you. My super fancy up one of the tanks. Hold on, can you see it? These are where my green scouts are, and one, of course, not going to come out for us right now. One super pretty green Moscow in here, and these are all his females. I named him Pretty Boy. Usually put my hands, they'll come out, but he's actually really shy. You can see I have some really teeny tiny babies. Usually when I have babies, I pull them out and I put them over here in a little baby tank, because I've seen guppies. I've seen a mama lay a guppy and then turn around and eat it. I want to follow the around. Here he is. Goes the female guppies around, and then when she lays into these live fish he eats. So right now I'm just trying to make lots of these green Moscows. I don't know if you can see him. Sean, can you see him?
Yeah, yeah.
He's one of my very favorite. I call him Pretty Boy in green. Right here.
Did you
This is one of my
get
favorite
into?
plants over here.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just asking. Did you get into guppies as
No,
a
right now.
personal? Go ahead. Sorry, I'm having an internet lag.
Oh, okay. I just didn't hear you. What'd you say?
I said, did you like get guppies as a personal fish, or just because they're easy to breed, like for profit, or like which
Oh,
one did you do first, snails or guppies,
I
or both?
I got into the snails first, but when I saw that my favorite color is teal, and when I saw that teal fish, I was hooked. So that's why I've got my guppies. So 3 different kinds of guppies. I have swordtail, I have Moscow, and I have some dragons on the way. My swordtail I lost in the process of cycling my tanks, so I don't have them to show you. My dragons are in the mail here very soon, so I can only show you my green Moscow, which was back there, and I'll show you my blue one later on.
All right.
So for I sell those for so one male for $25. I'm in Rochester, Michigan, and let me show you my shipping technique because it's really kind of tricky to ship snails. Hold on, I'm just getting supplies.
Muppet. I don't know if you can hear me, but she is on Band and Facebook. If you look up Sassy Snails on those 2 platforms, you'll find Melissa. She does have a YouTube, but she hasn't really started a channel yet. So this was kind of my way of helping her help me. I personally have ordered snails from her, so I can verify to her quality, but I wanted her to be able to present it how she wanted to. So we'll try to get a link in there after it goes live or something.
Thanks. I was going to talk about how I ship in a flat rate box, and I put a bunch of these stickers on them, as well as with the live fish. And when I ship my snails, I put each snail in a small little container, and I wrap him up in a paper towel. And then I put the paper towel in each their own little container so that they're safe. And so far, so good. Sean, your snails made it okay to you, so far, so good with shipping. It always makes me nervous. These guys they are babies. I worry about them getting there, but I wanted to take you and show you some of my cyclings, and then I'm going to show you about my hatchery. So I showed you the tank with my favorite pretty boy in here. Now over here, these are my breeding tanks. Can you see this?
You got quite the little setup going on.
Okay, so yeah, in each of these tanks, I have a certain color of snails. So in this tank, now I can't see if I'm doing, in this tank, I have my pink snails, and when they lay eggs, I just have all pinks in here. Now when I have my eggs in my big tank, I always take the clutches out because when I clean the bottoms, the baby snails are using the bottom, and I suck them right out. So now when I clean this tank, it's a lot easier. 1 second. Because I use a turkey baster, and I can see who I'm sucking up, and I'm not killing the baby snails. So these guys, the clutches will just stay here. So this is my pink one. These are my jades. Down there are my browns. Here are my purples, my golds, and my dark browns, which I call them the black. Now, a lot of people don't like the small tanks, but I actually really love the small tanks for two reasons. One, because if you have a major problem with it, I could pick it up and dump the water out and just start over. So that's one of the reasons why I really like the small tank. You know, because and I did have some major problems with it. And I had to recycle and do a lot of things with it to get it all put back together. So those are my tanks. And in it, I do have some female guppies waiting to get their male guppies in with them, which are coming up in the mail here. Okay, let me take you on my tour over to go see my gals. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold just because my apartment's a wreck because I just moved.
You're quite all right. Do what you need to. You also have another question up on the screen, Melissa.
Oh, cool. What's it? What are clutches?
It says,
that's what the snails lay. Yeah, I'm going to show you my nursery as soon as I get done with this. So can we hold that thought for just a second? These are my gauss. And if you're wondering what all these straws are, that's for the baby snails and the baby fish. Especially the baby fish, because you can see they hide up in here. And I put guppy grass and I put different plants in here. And I can control how many plants stay in here because I keep it so that it just stays in the middle of the straws. You see? That way my duckweed and everything doesn't completely take over the tank. But my baby guppies and my baby snails love to be in there. So here's a couple of my favorite plants, the banana and the, I forget what this is called. I have to check my notes. Now I wanted to show you this tank because this is as dirty as my tank gets. I don't like it to get any dirtier than this because then the ammonia gets completely out of control. Over here we have a little blue guy.
What's that plant?
Just chilling. What?
What's the plant in the back? The big leafy looking one.
This orange one is fake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I forget what this is called. I'm going to have to look in my... Oh, the lily bud is a lily. Now, my fish are actually super friendly. I can stick my finger in and pet them. Isn't that funny? Especially the pregnant ones. They come right up to my finger and they see. Do you want to see? Here.
Yeah.
They actually... Oh, watch. They're not going to do it. But I think they find it kind of comforting. I did an experiment where one of my tanks, I sang to them. Here they come. See? Hi! And I talked to them. And they became super friendly. Some of these guys, some of these big mamas that are coming up to me were in that tank. And I did that every day for one specific tank. Woo! Yep. She came right up to my finger. And then another tank, I didn't talk to. I didn't do anything. Hi, baby. Yes. And they stayed away. So these guys, some of these guys are super friendly. Mostly the females. So that's my Moscow, my blue Moscows. Okay, we want to get to the clutches. That's next. Hold on, I'm moving over here. Okay. Can you see this?
Yeah.
These are clutches. So this is my makeshift nursery of clutches. So what these are snail eggs. And what the mystery snails do is they lay these on the side of the tank near the water, but not in it. Because these guys will drown if they're in the water, but they will dry out if they're out of the water. So the mamas just lay them on the side of the tank so they kind of get splashed a little bit by the bubbler and stuff. What I do is I take them out and I put them in here. Now they need to have heat. So this blue thing here, I don't know if you can see. This is a heating pad. And this is a towel. And then I just keep these guys covered up, not all the way. And I just keep the heat on most of the day. And then I take a spray bottle of dechlorinated water and I just spray them once or twice a day. Now, a lot of people do that really differently, because a lot of people, what they do is they keep it inside their tank so that they have the same temperature of their tank. Hold on, I have to plug in. But what I found was I was having clutches floating around on the tops of my tanks. I didn't feed my fish. I could get to the fish. I needed another way. And you can see how many clutches I have. So that, I needed a way to have a mass production of clutches. So that's my way of how I do that. And so far, it works out so well. I can hatch a clutch today, so let me go grab one and hatch it for you. We'll be right back.
Mystery Snails Guardian, thank you very much for stopping in. Nicole, I always appreciate your support as my significant other. T-Bone, feeding time for my fishes. Heck yeah, mate. Michigan, I appreciate the questions. I appreciate the fellow support for Melissa. She's a really cool woman. And, she took time out of her day on this Mother's Day to share this with us. So I appreciate everybody hanging out in the comments. And if anybody wants them up after Melissa's done, I'm going to open the floor up to fish tank tours. So if you have one fish tank or 50, you're more than welcome to come up here after she's done with her presentation. Just show us some of your tanks as well. But she is just about back, and I'm curious about watching these be hatched, so I'll let her have the floor back. But I just wanted to pop in and say thank you, everybody. I appreciate the people that's hung in since the beginning already and now, and anybody to come to follow. So you have the floor again.
Oh, thanks. Sorry for the pause. So I have dechlorinated water here and just a container. And all I do to hatch the babies, first of all, they need to be hatchable. And to be hatchable, you see like those white things on there? Those are the babies getting ready to hatch. When it looks moldy, that's when the babies are ready to come out. So you can see that one was looking pretty good. This one, you can see some holes. That's because some of the babies already came out. Let me get a fresh one. Hold on. This one was just laid the other day. So let me hold up the difference, because people always ask, how do you know your clutches are ready to hatch? Can you see the difference?
Yeah.
This one is fresh. It's pink. The second one is ready to hatch. So I have to put that in the water. But this guy, you can see where some of them came out already. In the middle there, they came out. So I just take my water and I just spray. And what that allows to do, it breaks open the top and it allows the baby snails to come out. And then they just gently fall into the container here with the water like they would do naturally. Now, it's really hard for me to see in this light if any of them are coming out, but I'll know in a couple of minutes if they do. And sometimes the white parts, I just poke a little bit with the top of my nail, and that just helps open them up. And then these, oh yeah, here's some babies. Boop. One right here. He just came out. At the very tip, right there. He's so tiny, like a tip of pencil tip. He just popped out. So I'm just gonna keep them there right now in a little bit of water. So what do I feed these guys? You're probably asking. I make my own homemade food, and I'm gonna give you the recipe. So if you want, you can write it down, or you can just message, or I don't know if I can leave that on here later in comments, but basically it's really easy. I just take
I was curious about Nello, or whatever you call it, Rapace of a source.
Yep, I've got all that to show ya. This is my big bag of snail food. And what I do is I put bits and pieces of this, and I mix it up in a blender with a little bit of water, some eggs, and I leave the shell in with the eggs, some powdered cabbage or kale, lots of carbon, what's this stuff called? I'm losing my words. Calcium, lots of calcium, even bloodworms, and then I mix in baby food. Now, snails don't have really great eyesight. Their sense of smell is amazing. So, two of their favorite foods, my guys love guava and they love bananas. If I put a banana peel in there, they see me start dropping it, they already start coming running. I don't like to leave raw food in my tanks though, because then it gets moldy and gunky and stuff. So let me see what my food looks like. So I mix it all up in the blender, and then I bake it for about an hour, and it turns out to look like this. This is my guava. And if you're going to use this food, it's not hard food. It's soft. Oh, there goes my spoon. And there goes my dog's going to eat it. And you can see it crumbles within my fingers. And they love stuff. A bunch of it in the corner, and an hour later, they're all in the corner eating this. Now, the guppy, calcium isn't really that good for guppies, so I try and feed the snails only at night when the guppies are already full. I feed the fish first, and then I feed the snails at night so that the guppies, number one, don't eat all of this, and number two, don't get upset belly because the calcium isn't good for them. So what do I feed the fish? Let me show you that. This is two things that I feed the fish. This is from Co-op Aquarium.
Woo woo!
And it is, but it's also fry. Yeah. And all you do is you turn it over and squeeze, and the powdery stuff just comes out. The snails, I feed this to my fish. If I could feed it to my dogs, I would. No, I'm just kidding. They love this. Now the snails will come up to the top. They see me coming with this because this floats along the top. And the snails have gotten really smart. They'll come up to the top and they'll like make a pouch. And I'll just put the tip of this in the pouch and give it just a teeny tiny shake so they can get some, and then they trap it and then stick their nose down. If you look on my videos on Sassy Snails, you'll actually see where I'm hand feeding, blood trapping in the food and stuff. It's kind of hard for me to describe unless I have one doing it. So back to feeding fish, brine shrimp. This is another one. Actually, when I make my snail food, I take brine shrimp and I grind it up. But this is baby brine shrimp, and they're the reason why this is really good fish is because for the 24, 48 hours that a baby brine shrimp is born, it has a little gold pocket on it. And that gold pocket lasts them for 24, 48 hours of food for them until they get a little bit big enough to find the food themselves. Now, when you feed the baby brine to the fish, they're not only getting the nutrient brine, but they're also getting that pocket of gold, like liquid gold is what I would call it, is they're getting that pocket too. This is also really good for the babies as well, my baby guppies. And yes, snails love it too. Any questions?
Melissa, you have a
Zucchini,
question up on the screen. And then
yep,
mystery
zucchini. What I do is calcium carbonate. Thank you. Yes, I lost my words. I do feed my snails raw veggies, but I blanch it first, and all that does is it brings the nutrients a little bit up closer to the top of the vegetable. It's easier for them to get. So to blanch your vegetables, all you need to do is you bring it to a boil, cut it all up, bring it to a boil, and then immediately put it on ice, let it sit for 5-10 minutes. And then I don't recommend putting that cold into the tank because the snails will go for it pretty quickly and they'll get freezer burn. It'll be pretty for them. I let it sit out for about an hour or so. And what I do is I stick it on a fork because zucchini doesn't float. Unless you use a whole zucchini, it doesn't float. So I stick it on and the fork will sink down and then the snails can get it from there. But most of the time what I do with my vegetables is I mix it all up and I make it into my own food. And if anybody wants a sample of that, I'm more than willing to share. It does make your tank a little messy, I will say that, because it's crumbling.
Hey, do you sell it then at a price? I put that as a question.
I have not sold snail food yet. I'm just a beginner at all of this, so I kind of feel like I shouldn't sell it yet. So if you would like, if you're interested, just pay for shipping and I'll give you a few samples. But I think it would spoil in the summertime because it's has raw eggs in it and stuff.
All right.
Yeah, I don't sell it, but I'm interested. I have 12 different recipes. Let's see. I have apple, mango, spinach, cucumber, mixed vegetables, banana. But you have to be careful with like the fruits because the fruits aren't necessarily that great for them, only because of the acid in the fruit. Sometimes I remember someone told me that. My nails had no problem with it, but I don't know if everybody else's would be sensitive. And I can't remember all the other ones. I have a kale. I have a bloodworm. Oh, pumpkin. They love pumpkin. I also use octopus in it. I even put in a little bit of dog food that doesn't have salt in it. Just regular dog food that has salmon in it. Because the mysteries, they don't just eat algae. They need to be had all sorts of different kinds of food. Was there another question there? No. Okay.
No.
I talked about, now on my list of some really cool things are some things that help me cycle. So let me just get my tray cleaned up here and let me get some more supply.
Yep. Yeah, you're fine. I'll take a moment to say, hey, S, thank you for stopping in, buddy. I appreciate it. T-Bone, thanks for being friendly. Michigan, I bet she has a great answer for that one. I've heard of a few fixer-uppers, but I'm curious to hear her thoughts on that question, too.
Okay, I'm back.
You got a question?
Do we have a question? Don't ask me too hard questions, guys. I'm new. Oh my god, that's what I just got. Let me go grab mine. Just 1 second. Who is that? Michigan? 1 second. This is Shelly, and she has a cast on. It's lasted for about 2 months, and she fell out of the tank. And what this is I boil an egg, and then I take the skin from the egg very carefully, and it's very tricky to do, but it works. I mean, it's stayed on for almost 2 months. So what I did was I just got some peroxide, and I cleaned around the outside where it was, where the wound wasn't, and I was like so careful because I didn't want to get the peroxide in her at all. So I used a Q-tip, and I just cleaned around, and then I used nail glue. And I just put a couple kilo dough. Actually, I have one that actually needs to be casted later on if there's time. But you kind of lay it down in pieces on top of each other, and just a little more glue, and lay it down. And then once she's completely covered up, I put like 3 or 4 layers on because it will come off in the water. Once she's completely covered up, I put her in her own little after the glue is dried. You gotta make sure that glue is dried. So let her sit out for like an hour. I put just a little bit of water and put her in a little bit of water, some food while she's letting it dry. And then I put her in a hospital tank by herself to completely make sure that cast has stayed on. And then I keep her away from the males. So yes, you can cast them. I don't like to use super glue because super glue is really stinky. Glue, it's not as stinky, but it takes longer to dry. That's what I do. Are there any other questions there, Sean? Let me go back.
I'm not seeing at the moment. Somebody asked for. Oh, you're good. Somebody asked for your
I think
Facebook
I got that one.
link.
Okay, so.
Sorry, somebody asked for your Facebook link, and I went ahead and posted
Sassy
it.
Snails,
I hope that was okay.
But,
yes.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, even if they want to follow my personal page, that's fine too, because I put all sorts of pictures. So I should probably say the bottom of my tanks, I have no substrate. And the reason why I don't have any substrate, I work with snails mainly and not fish. And when I clean the substrate, I suck up all the baby snails. So what I did was I ended up getting rid of all my substrate and started over, and I was cycling 10 tanks. Finally got them all cycled. Each tank I did a different way so I could figure out which way was the fastest way to go and which products were the best. So here's my results. Stuff is amazing. You can cycle a tank 24, 48 hours with this. You can't overdose it. So early, comfortable in. Amazing stuff. This works really great. Another thing that worked really great was taking from one of my other tanks and putting it in the filter of another one. And within 2 hours, that tank was already showing cycling. So it's quite a mess. I lost a lot of fish. I lost a lot of snails, but everything is kind of all sorted out now. Another one of my tricks, zeolite. These are rocks. And zeolite, it sucks out the ammonia in your tanks. The problem with this is it doesn't too long to charge it up. So you can either bake it in your oven or you can put it in sunlight. I put mine in sunlight because it's easier, and put it in a little bag and I just drop it in the tank. Something really cool about this little mesh bag, when I have my baby guppies, I try and take them out of the tank so mom doesn't die with them. But they're small enough to get through the holes in here, and they have a shelter. They can just hang out in the bag. One day I picked up my bag and I'm like, what is all this? And there were like 10 little baby guppies in there. I was like, oh, so they love these little things. Another thing for my zeolite is this. These are feeding dishes that you can just put on the side of your tank. But I put zeolite in here. Snails actually hanging out in here. I don't know, they like the zeolite. So once you put it in your tank, maybe about later, you do need to take it out and recharge it. There's one really, really cautious thing with this. If you put salt in your water, like your fish have fungus, and you put salt in your water, all the ammonia in here will come out into the tank. I did that. You could actually see this. It's really bad. So no salt with zeolite. pH, I like to keep it around 8. So if you need to raise your pH, I put in a little bit of baking soda, but I put it in like a dish or something, some water, and then I dump it in. But be careful with that, because if you have fish and you raise your pH too quickly, the snails are okay with it, but my fish don't like the pH being raised quickly. So just be careful with raising the pH. Now, when you put in, it also will lower your nitrate. So that's a trick I use too. Why am I showing you this? What would I have this up for? Oh! So I don't have any substrate. So this beautiful shot glass, I use it for my plants. So I put little rocks and stuff in here, and then that's where mine stay in here. Because I don't have any substrate, they still need to be rooted. And same thing with the bigger plants. And I think I told you guys about the straws. Sean, did I tell you about the straws?
I seen you put straws in. I never heard of the straws. That's kind of a clever idea.
Yeah, my baby.
In fact, I got.
You can get like 100 straws for $3. You know.
Right. I think I have a pack of those in my kitchen right now. I might be adding some to some of my tanks.
Yeah, the guppies love them, and the snails do too. Kind of like, and it's just like their little trapeze or something. They play on there. They'll fall down. They'll climb back up. It's just something fun that they like, and it's a cheap way for me to get those in, get it in, and get cover for the babies. Now, you mentioned Snello earlier. I haven't made Snello, where I purchased mine from. This is amazing. When I put this stuff in the tank, my fish go bonkers. It's like, don't eat it. It's for the snails. It's not for you. They go crazy with stuff. And my snails absolutely love it. Same with the calcium from Mystery Snails, etc. This is great stuff. I always have this in the cupboard. I absolutely love it. Another thing I should mention is my cuttle bone that I use. I don't just put the cuttle bone in. You can see I've scraped it, and that's little powder. Powder sinks down to the bottom, and that's how the snails get some of their calcium. I think I'm done. I got through everything. Did I get through everything? I told you about my talking and singing to them, and I can be petted. Yeah. I got through everything. Woo! Any questions, class?
I don't know if this question was for you or for Michigan.
Crayfish Empire. I see from Mystery Snail Guardians a question. Crayfish Empire, yes, I have used that. My snails don't like it. I'm sorry to say. That company, they were not a fan of it. They really like the mystery snails, the stuff. That's what my snails prefer. And one tank is different from another tank. I could put Crayfish Empire in one tank, and those guys like it, and then different folks for different folk, I guess. But I really lean toward the mystery, etc., because that's what my snails really
like. Michigan asked another question. I honestly, I mean, I could attempt to answer some of these, but I don't know, like, I don't have the knowledge base like you do on snails. I have snails, I got them for my tank, but, like, I just assume that my tanks are pretty dirty and I have a lot of plants and I kind of overfeed, so they have plenty of food. Not to say that I wouldn't treat my snails. I got some, I don't know, shrimp lollies, if you've heard of those before. But my snails and shrimp and plecos like shrimp lollies. So that's why I asked you if you're going to plan to sell your food and how much would you sell it for or whatever, if people were curious or not. Personally, a question. So how many babies do you have ready right now? Like, are you ready for people to start hitting you up and, wanting to buy a bunch of snails? Are you still trying to build some, or?
I am not ready. Well, right now, all my tanks just got cycled, so I lost a few snails, but I have all those clutches. Clutches hatch. I can get 100 per clutch. Have probably 1,000 snails. I just sold my batch that I'm sad to say, but excited to say I have a waiting list of 32 people who want my snails. So I'm excited about it, and I hope that doesn't people, and I hope they still purchase from me. But I do have a waiting list because I'm sure they go to good. There was a question before that I had some food.
Oh, there's Calvin. I'm sorry, give me a second here. I'm going to repost the link here. This is my buddy Calvin.
Sean.
Are you having some internet issues? Yeah, hold up 1 second, Calvin. Give me 1 second, Melissa. I'm gonna. My buddy Calvin's gonna come up in the background.
I'm gonna go through and look at the questions because I missed some. Is that okay? Give me a thumbs up because I can't.
Yeah, no, that's quite all right. I know you had one about the cuttlebone. Why do you scrape it or scrap it? Okay. But yeah, by all means, go ahead and just kind of look through the comments.
Jeez, not on Facebook. So to Band, if you're on Band or YouTube, you can find me on YouTube, Melissa Ann Bridges or Sassy Snails. Mystery Snail Guardians. She actually had a crack. She was actually not just a crack, but a complete wound. She was actually coming out of the top, and the cleft shell. Sometimes I will cover those depending on how far up it is, especially if it's 2 rows in that wall. I will cast that.
Calvin, click that little.
PCH, I got that.
And you hit
the tile floor. Yes, Michigan, if you want, we can FaceTime and I can take you through how to how to heal that up if you want with the eggshell or the egg skin.
Melissa, this is my buddy Calvin. Calvin, this is Melissa.
Hey, Melissa.
Snail tails food. Have not tried snail tails food. I would be totally open to it. How often should I feed the snails? And the cuttlebone question. Okay. So I feed my snail twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. And I scrape the cuttlebone because if I just drop this, it doesn't sink right away. So I scrape and I scrape and I scrape so that it drops and it stays at the bottom.
Sorry, I'm playing. Yeah, no, I'm playing around with the screen, trying to like. Everybody's joined in. If you look, you can see we got Calvin, got that Florida goldfish keeper. But you still have the layout. You get to go as long as you wish. So answer any and all questions and keep doing what you're doing.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I definitely have some mystery snail questions.
You said you have a few questions, Calvin?
It's one of the things that I still can't get down. Just one of those things out of everything I've done.
All right. By all means, ask away. Melissa, I think Calvin might have a question or two.
So I have a couple older mystery snails, probably around the year mark. You know, well, they're apple mysteries, whatever someone wants to call them. But the shells are pitting, and I cannot seem to get the shells to stop pitting. Like they're not dissolving or anything; they're just pitting. She might have backed out. I don't know.
I was about to say, hold up a second. I don't know if she's still in chat and can hear something. I got her right here on Messenger if need be. Yeah, like I just told her, me, myself, I get snails to clean my tank, and I know they deserve adequate, homes just like your fish. And I feel the tanks that I put my snails in are plenty, but as far as the details, most of my snails I actually bought from her. I have one mystery snail that did not come from her, and it is huge. I'm talking like fat, bro. It's in that juvie tank, and they don't even try messing with it.
I've looked at her site, and like I'm probably gonna get some.
How can you tell
Melissa?
if a snail's dead or not?
Go ahead. What's up?
Yeah, hi. I couldn't hear you. Yes.
How can y'all tell if a snail's dead or not? Because I used to have one and I couldn't, it floated to the top and I couldn't tell if it was dead or not.
Smell it.
Oh, you know what? If it floats to the top. Hey, wait, is this question for me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it floats to the top, it's not necessarily dead. There's a couple other reasons why it's up to the top. Number one, sometimes bubbles get stuck in it and it has gas, and it goes up to the top because it can't release the gas. So all you do is you pick it up and turn it upside down for maybe 5 minutes and put it back in and down. Another reason it floats to the top is because she's a female and she's trying to stay away. Now, if it's up to the top for a couple of days and you up some trick, then you might have a problem. But the first to get away, if you know, if for it if it's
You're
dead,
lagging a
the
little.
first thing I do is like smell it before I throw it, just because sometimes I'm wrong, and it can come back. Another thing is, you know, the foot nail. You can take your nail and you can pull on it a little bit. If it's easy to pull, then it's off. If you pull on
Because
it, then it's
I called my local pet store. They said to take it out of the water and like try to suction out that air.
Oh, when you're at a pet store.
Pet.
So your snails, how do you know if you're getting a dead one? Is that what?
I don't know that much about snails, so.
Let me.
Now,
I'm gonna.
when I'm at a pet store, I'm purchasing snails, which I don't. I actually have them pull it out of the.
I was gonna try to clarify his question. I think like what he's saying is,
water.
so if I go into a pet store.
Okay.
Sorry, I feel like we got some lagging going on, Melissa, on your end.
Like, it seems like Sassy Snails is lagging.
Hey, real quick, Sean. I never asked, but I smoke in the videos. I'm sorry.
Oh no, yeah, I do. So normally I just kind of, you only catch me. Well, you don't. When I put the screen on y'all for your solos, that's when I'll hit my vape pen or hit a cigarette, if you will. I'm sorry, I won't advocate the smoke. Smoking is bad, everybody. Let me just say that publicly.
Yeah.
But addiction is addiction, so I mean, I've been doing it for so many years now. Melissa, are you with us? Can you hear us?
Sean, did I miss a question for me?
No, I was
can hear
just
you.
going.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think I had a few questions.
You seem to be lagging, Melissa.
Yeah.
Did I get them?
I think she's trying again.
Right.
Hey, Sean.
But yeah, what's up, man?
This is
Oh.
the tank now.
Yeah, my
And
tank
is this the tank?
Good,
Is this the tank with the anemone?
Yeah, he's all the way back down in there, the little butthead. Trying not to cuss. He decided that he wanted to move again. Well, he's coming back out slowly.
I think that's too cool, man.
Is it
Go
hard
ahead,
taking care
Nathan.
of?
What was that?
Is it hard taking care of saltwater?
It depends on what you want to do.
Starting one, but never really got into it.
Hey, you might have to get closer to your mic.
Me?
Is that Ethan, I think?
Nathan. Yeah.
Nathan?
Yeah.
Okay. You might want to get a little closer to the mic. Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing. I'm already half deaf. No, but to answer your question, the biggest and most obvious difference is the fact that the water has salt in it. And after that, it's what you want to do. Like, you can do a fish-only tank, saltwater, with a decent amount of rock, go pound the gallon, and then some power heads to flow some water through the rock, and a canister. Like, you can go that route.
Yeah.
Me, I have gone a little past that. I have, like, let's set up under the tank right here. And my big ocean steamer. I got my
Yeah.
things like this tank has got an auto top off directly in line with a 7-stage RODI. I'm starting to work on my coral and stuff like that. And it's also a drilled tank. I got a marine light up there to keep stuff. Or I got a lower end Fluval Marine 3.0. It's just a saltwater, low light coral light. But all in all, like if I was to price everything for this tank, it would be up there. That's probably the second biggest
Yeah.
difference is the price. And it's just like tools, if you don't, especially with saltwater can be very unforgiving. So like, spend the money on the equipment that is what you're going to be using for a long time. Because if you don't, you'll eventually spend that money, and anyways. So that is something that I have learned the hard way. Is just spend the money on the good stuff because you'll get it eventually. That and go one direction. Like if you have a planted tank, don't constantly keep changing. Like even with reef or whatever, like don't constantly keep changing things. Like because with saltwater, like if I were to take my protein skimmer out, I would be dealing with that to get it to be fine for quite some time. Or if like I was to take one of the bigger rocks out because I didn't like it, I'd be dealing with that for quite some time. Or changing my light a few percent in the whites, my coral could. It's easy coral, but they would be a little upset with me for a little while. Or my anemone would just mow over everything because he's already being a little. Sorry, I'll try not to cuss, but a little butthead. And he's decided to go over my toadstool, and my toadstool decided that it wanted to release a bunch of toxin into the tank, and I got into the tank, and I could definitely feel it, and my other stuff is just now starting to come back. So that and anemones kind of just do what they want. They're not a coral. They're like jellyfish, like a membrane. They're a membrane species, and they kind of just do what they want, and you hope for the best.
Yeah,
It's
really cool.
it's really no different. You just gotta really keep up on parameters.
Right. I think we lost him nonetheless. Maybe he'll come back on. Melissa, you have a question right there on the screen. If you want, go ahead and answer it. If you think you have a good question, a good signal, Calvin was trying to go ahead and just ask you a question himself.
No, she already answered it.
Oh, you already answered it. Okay, my bad. Then you at least have a question on the screen from Michigan. Faithful Michigan. Thanks for sticking in there, buddy. I appreciate it. You got you a fan.
Guys, if I talked over you here.
Yeah, I can hear.
The temperature for I keep mine around 73. So I think I talked over you guys earlier. Around 73, and I do get, there is someone mentioned.
Yeah, we're losing you again.
Yeah.
Corrosion on the snails, and because of the pH, sometimes they get old too.
Calvin, if you hit that stop cam button, buddy, it will put a thing over your screen, and we'll still hear your voice, so you ain't got to do this.
Okay.
Yeah, I brain farted. When it comes to snails, so get in your colors. Literally, if I have a blue snail and I have a yellow snail and they breed, does that mean I'm getting a green snail? Are you on there twice? Are you there?
She just might be having some connectivity issues with her internet. That's all.
Yeah, it shows like two of her, trying to come in, and then that one disappeared. Big old dirt.
If you're using Wi-Fi, I would turn everything off that's not what you're using.
I'm gonna put you on the solo. My blood parrots are finally slowly getting some size. They still ain't like yours, or ain't even compared to what Ravioli was like, but they're slowly getting there. And we ended up getting another one of those, we call it Snowball, but one of those Snow White parrots or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
God, that
Over here,
fish.
guys. Over here. Look. Over here, guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, those, how I said, are those Cory cats? And you said, no, those are just super big Cynodontis cats or whatever. Are those in this tank?
Oh, yeah, they're the Hoplocats.
Oh, okay.
They're in the plate armor family. They're somewhat related to Cory's. Oh, my big dude's got a little issue on his face with his nose.
Yeah.
Well, not the King Kong, but my big male blood parrot. I didn't see that until now. Well, I've been watching it, but see, like you look at his face, you can kind of stuff. He's like, no, another fish. He's got a little spot on his nose. Well, he always gets in the way, but
right.
A little spot on his nose over there. These little guys are turning into, well, camera ham over there.
Those are nice little size. I've been contemplating it, but I really don't need them. Like, I don't need to buy no more fish, and I just keep buying fish. I need to buy a house.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 3, 4, 5. There's 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I have 8 blood parrots, a King Kong, a few other things in here. Well, there's my Oscar. He is always. I just got this guy back right here, the sailfin. Remember when I posted that on Casualaquatics?
Okay. Did you get rid of it?
Yeah, I gave it to yeah, I gave it to my fiance's uncle and grandfather, and she wreaked havoc on their tank. It just, plecos like to decorate themselves, so.
Right. Yeah, I think I probably made a funny, like, you could just give it to me. Like, I don't think I had my plecos at the time, and, like, my common was just a little baby, and rest in peace, obviously, I don't have him no more. I would like to get a common, dude, and I might be stretching a little far, but I know it takes them a minute to get big, and then by the time it gets big enough, he'd go in this 135, and hopefully by that point, I will be in a different house and have that 300 set up so that there's proper
I'll give you this guy.
I want your albino, bro. That's what I want, an albino.
Those are gorgeous. What a cool...
I'll give you that Leporanus. Anybody that wants them.
Yeah, ain't he an asshole?
Yeah.
Get big?
Yeah. Yeah, he sucks a lot.
I mean, he hangs out with your Oscars, and you know what kind of assholes I have right here behind me? Good old lady and look at his big ass.
Like, I'm gonna be honest, like this guy has killed many fish.
Oh yeah? Well, I don't want my fish killed. I don't know. Only recently, and I know you like pre-warned me of this, but only recently have the Jaguar and the Red Devil lip lock. They didn't do it, like, I don't know, I've had them now like 2, maybe 3 months. I've had the devil longer, but I'm saying I've had Jag in that tank for like 2 or 3
So they get
months.
more comfortable and bigger.
Okay.
Your red devil and Jag are still small, if I remember.
Right, they're going to be like the biggest fish that I have in there right now. That Jag, he's going to grow up and wake up and have a whole new personality. I get it, and I will definitely move him. I would be fucking, sorry, pardon my language, anybody. I would be just obliviated if I woke up to Lady and the Tramp dead. I've done had them too long. I went through so much with them. I gave them their names. Like, those are my fish, man. I love my Oscars, and I don't want to see nothing happen to them. But, yeah, personality all day long. I swear my Oscars come to me calling them by name.
Sean,
Like, they know their name. Yeah, what's up, Melissa?
Sean, is there anything for me, or can I?
Yeah, I mean, there was one last question up there, but if you're just having too much issues, you can go ahead and hop off. I appreciate your time. I wanted to, like, just give you a proper outro to the people in the comments and stuff. You know, here, let me pull you up here. Give me a second.
No problem. I can't hear you very well. My internet is messed up. So, okay. I don't know what I have the floor for. There's a question. 8 months I live, maybe about a year or 2. I haven't had one live past 2 years. I don't know if I answered all the questions. If not, you can find me on Facebook. You're welcome to message me, Melissa Ann Bridges, or on Sassy Snails on Band or on Facebook. I think I got all the questions. Talked about the cuddle bone, why I scrape it so the powder goes down to the bottom. The pH I keep around an 8. I think I got everything everybody asked.
Yeah, no, let me just thank you
guys
for
being
coming
your
on
tanks are gorgeous, my gosh.
Yeah, thank you for coming on to the live stream. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come do this with us and share your knowledge. So thank you very much.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yep. Have a good rest of your day.
No problem. I hope maybe we'll be on again.
Yeah.
See you too. Bye.
Bye. Hey, Sean.
Yeah.
This is what the goldfish tank looks like normally. Covered in algae.
But it's still, like, clear. Like, your water's clear. It looks good. Your fish are healthy. Like...
Who's coming on?
Troops Tropical Aquatics. Hello, friend. How are you? Do you want to come up today? T-Bone, welcome back. I see you. Why don't I see you on other streams? T-Bone, I'm not really, like, I don't know. I'm not a big name. I'm a guy that likes fish, that created a Facebook group first and decided I might as well try to take it to YouTube. Like, I shared one video and it kind of got a lot of views, and I went from there. I've been on Vinny's Aquatics. I'll give Vinny an indirect shout out. I've been on his live stream once. I personally was nervous to get on screen like this. Like, it's one thing to show myself in my videos, but this is me. This is raw. You're getting all this ugliness just live and right at you. And I have stage fright, I guess, kind of. I stutter sometimes. My words ain't too clear sometimes. So, and that, plus I haven't really, I mean, nobody's really invited me. Again, that goes with, maybe I'm just not that big or known yet. Calvin teasing us with, oh, I see that Ohio Fish Rescue shirt. I need to give me one. I love their show. Their channel, they really got it going on. I would love that freaking swimming pool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to sit my phone down to get a. I'm trying to feed these guys, but oh well.
uh, find a ladder or random something to prop, or I don't know. Switch the camera to the back. Well, that's gonna be challenging. I'd say switch it to the back view. Hold your camera and pinch out, and then drop it in the tank. Oh yeah, everybody. This is Colomesis. Yeah, I can't
No,
say the last
this is
word.
the topaz.
Oh, okay, topaz.
He doesn't get to
Topaz.
see himself. He doesn't get to see himself very often. So he's like, "What the heck is
Oh,
this?" Like, I thought you
right.
were gonna feed
It's
me.
another me.
He's like, "I don't know how I feel about this." But he'll definitely follow my hand around. Well, usually. There we go.
And now that's saltwater too, or that's fresh?
This is brackish.
Brackish. I should have known.
It's 1.015 is
The,
the salinity or something. I don't know.
right. The only freshwater then are pea puffers, right? Like fully fresh.
What was that?
I said the only fully freshwater puffers are pea puffers, correct?
There's quite a few of them out there. Like you got the MBUs,
Oh yeah,
fajakas.
duh.
Like I
Freaking
know a lot of
perfect.
people will disagree with me on fajakas, but fajakas are a freshwater fish. Like I have seen them at the 10-year point many times, full grown in freshwater their whole life. There's quite a few of them out there. Like Amazon puffers, I'm pretty sure. I just can't think of off the top of my head.
Right, right.
Let's turn this thing around.
I'm gonna see
Okay.
if Richie or anybody else is gonna hop on. Make sure I done posted in all the groups. Otherwise, I'll look at your pretty fish and talk fish. And I was gonna go ahead and I guess maybe give a sneak peek at that new fish, but I haven't even posted it in the group yet. So,
So how's your
oh
iridescent looking?
yes, yes. Oh my God, Calvin! I cannot wait to have a catfish that I can freaking like rub his head. That is awesome. Do you interact with him at all?
I'm starting to. He's blind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I got him, I managed to save the one eye that I thought was gonna fall out, but that eye is completely like there's nothing. It's basically just a spot, and the other one's not. The other one's not too well either. I got him from a bad situation when he was like 4 inches or so, 5 inches. Well, not bad, just not ideal. Yeah, they
Right.
all think we feed him because this is where I feed him. He's like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, come on.
Right.
Let's see if I can get some food out or something. Here, I'm gonna set the phone down.
Yeah, you're good. I'm showing off this flower horn hybrid as you think it is. I don't know if the front toast is gonna come show itself. Kenny the Kenny Cichlid, he's a badass mofo. He'll go toe to toe with that Juby Oscar. And
Oh, they're
then
ready.
I don't know if y'all will be able to see the baby convicts in there on the screen or not.
I gotta be careful. He'll take my finger.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he'll go right for it. Oh, he's down there now.
Tramp will let me pet him. Lady, on the other hand, she's been a little feisty lately. And again, I think they're getting ready to lay eggs, though.
Yeah, she just definitely splashed a bunch of water out. I'm getting low. I'm getting low on some food. But yeah, like you can see this guy. He's got You see that spot on his nose?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. No idea what
It,
it is.
it's not like a like velvet or nothing. I mean, did he run into the tank or from
No,
fighting or?
he's the only one. I'm thinking a parasite of some kind, or he got something stuck in his nose and it just is an abscess or something. Mr.
Yeah.
Oscar, you already got everything. Yeah, I call my Oscar Mr. Oscar. I'm the worst person at naming animals.
I try to be creative when I'm finally ready to give them a name, but sometimes I'll call like 3 different fish the same name, like, oh, Red or whatever, because I'll be talking to the Red Devil or the Firemouth, and they're both like got that very bright color or whatever. Of
Yeah.
course, Red Devil, so it just kind of slips out. So me with
Or like
names, like, go ahead.
I got a couple or I got a few African clawed frogs. I got a big old female who's completely blind, and then I got my male that I started with years ago, and then not too long ago I just picked up a little albino guy from the store. I just got some coral from today. But
Yeah,
there she is. She came out. But
so beautiful.
what was I gonna say? But like I named the male Mr. Frog, and of course when we got the big female, my fiance picked her out. We named her Mrs. Frog. Well, now we have
Yeah.
another male, and I call him Mr. Frog too. Like I don't know what else to name him. I'm so bad with it.
Ah, that is so beautiful. How much do those cost?
No, this girl was free, rehome. So now I got
Oh,
my other sailfin. Like you can see the size comparison in these two. The sailfin, the normal sailfin looks super small, but this one right here is a good 12 inches, and
no kidding.
you can see the difference.
But don't the females on most plecos, they're broader at their like chest, whereas the males are more like lankier.
Yeah, for the most part.
So maybe that
But
gives her a little bit of an advantage. Or...
look at that guy back there. He never
Michigan, I
comes up
put
to the.
your comment up there. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. I don't try to be nobody but myself. You're more than welcome to come join us on Facebook in Casual Aquatics and,
Look at
post
all
in
the
there.
algae.
Sorry, Kevin. I didn't mean to cut you off. That was just a cool
Oh, dude, you're
comment he
fine.
put.
Your channel.
He or she, Michigan, are you a sir or are you a ma'am? I'm sure some people might beg to differ. I do a lot of, I guess, taboo practices with mixing fish, not to intentionally hurt fish by no way, shape, or form. And I try to be prepared for any and all outcomes. You can't predict everything, even in a good, perfect aquarium setting with fish that are going to get along or supposed to be together. They're going to have their moments. They're going to bicker. They're going to set territories. So it just comes with the hobby. However, I do put like South Americans with Africans, and you probably shouldn't do that. But yeah, so people might beg to differ with your comment, but I appreciate it.
Well, like it's one of the reasons I didn't, I did my water changes on the goldfish tank, and I've done the salt tank today. But one reason, like I don't really, I don't know, like what I'm trying to say. Like you see, my big tank is, that thing is what, like 2, 3 inches low on water. Like this
Right.
is what this tank looks like after a week. Like I got that much water out of the tank, but it's also open top. They haven't made lids for this tank in 30 years, but
I, I
at the
can't really
same,
point at it, but that's what this tank right here. It's got about 3 inches missing.
yeah, I mean, my parameters are fine. My nitrates are still below 20. I mean, it's because I gotta keep up with it, or else it freaks out at me. And
Have you
like
noticed
I
though
gotta,
there's a trend on YouTube of like more of the bigger name channels putting like videos out about that very thing, like water changes, like to do and to don't. It's like I seen Steam Font do one, and then it was like I seen every other channel, like bigger channel, kind of do a whole
Yeah,
thing on
it
water
needs,
change.
in my opinion, it needs to be. It's like I've told you, it's every tank is different. You know, like this tank right here, I technically don't need to do water changes on it traditionally, but at the same time, it's going through. I have a flow through system on this tank. It's basically like an automatic water change. It just has water constantly coming into it 24/7, 365, and water going out of it. Like it does 100% water change in about 4 to 5 days. You know,
Right.
my nitrates on this tank stay below 5, and I have technically overstocked my tank. Like I could literally throw another 5. I don't want to say throw. I could add another 5 goldfish to this tank, and it'd be fine.
And that's how big? That's a
It's only a
200.
125.
That's
I have 11. I have
125.
11 goldfish in here.
Jeez, it looks bigger. I don't know. Like,
It's just the angle. Like this
right.
algae. This algae is a constant. Like I just don't clean it.
But that's
You know, like
okay. Like Corey even talks about that. Like it just depends. Like I guess too much algae could be a bad thing, right? But at the
if you want to
same
see your
time,
fish,
right, right. It's an eyesore.
yeah. I mean, it can
But
be
the
an
fact that it's
indicator of
growing,
things.
your tank is doing what it's supposed to, or it's all part of like the ecosystem process
Yeah.
or thought.
This girl right here is the reason I did the flow through on it, because if the
Oh
nitrate,
wow.
she's super old, but like if the nitrates start creeping past 15 to 20, she'll just bottom sit and she won't even move.
And that's like a cool thing, really. Your fish is sensitive enough to tell you, like, hey, something's wrong, Dad. You need to clean our water. Ravioli
Yeah, I
used to
mean,
do that.
yeah, it just she. I mean, you can see her fins. You know, she gets tired still from time to time, but like she's. I mean, I hate to be like like dark about it, but she's at the end of her life. You know, like I don't want
Right.
her to have it. I don't want her to have it to be harder than not. I mean, she's around 16 years old, so
Wow.
yeah, I got her. I got her at my store, and she was donated by someone who got it from her late father. It was left to her in the will, and that was like his prize thing was this girl back here, and then this guy right here. This guy is
Yeah.
just about as old. I mean, you can see like these guys aren't small. You know,
No, no.
like they're not even close to full size. I mean,
Right.
this girl right here, and this guy, they're done growing, but like you can see like they're 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 pretty big. Like so, I kind of like to show people, like hey, like this is why your little goldfish can't go in here, or your little goldfish can't live in a 20 gallon. Like people say, like oh, 20 gallons is enough, but like it
Oh
is,
God.
but you're gonna be doing water changes 2 3 times a week just to keep the thing from turning upside down.
I think if you're intermediate to advanced in the hobby, then it's okay. I don't think a beginner
Yeah.
should get any goldfish and put them in a 20-gallon. I would not. I still have held off on getting goldfish. My old lady wants a blackmore, but
Well, like think
I
about it like this. This is a 20-gallon regular tank. It's a tank that came with a 92-gallon bow front corner. But it's got a big old crack on the side right there. But
right.
my bigger fantail is this big. So like you can
That's
I mean
almost
look you see
half.
that. It's just no space.
That's
Like
like
that.
Nathan. I hope you're still watching this, buddy. He has I think a 10-gallon, and he sent me a message on Facebook. He's like, "Hey, would it be okay for my goldfish to just temporarily be in here until I can get them moved to the 55?" And I said my better judgment is to tell you no, but if you promise or, you know, it's sincerely temporarily, then okay.
It comes down to how temporary. Because in the younger years of a goldfish, that is when they're going to get stunted the most usually, especially as soon as they start getting to a mature or starting to mature, is when the
And
males
I don't,
they release a pheromone that inhibits growth. It doesn't, and
right,
that pheromone doesn't really discriminate which fish, whether it's the fish that released it or not. Like it just works better on a different fish. But
right.
it inhibits growth. And like in all honesty, aside from nitrates, because goldfish, for the most part, can handle. And I'm probably going to get some flack at some point or another for saying this, but goldfish, for the most part, can handle some like just standard nitrates that most people are going to be getting to in their tank if they're doing regular maintenance, you know.
Right.
And but it's that pheromone. I mean, once a fish is stunted, there's no unstunting a fish, you know. Like this guy right
Right.
here, like he's like the size of a baseball, and he's mature. He's mature enough to breed right now because he's already been trying. But the thing is if I stunt him at all, if I'm not doing my water changes with that, mainly for the pheromones is what I do a lot of water changes on this tank for, is they won't grow big. Like people see those big goldfish, the big fancy ones that are like a
Oh,
pound,
yeah.
they're a 12-inch body and it's the coolest type of goldfish you want. And it's like a $500 goldfish on like a goldfish site. Those fish are bred and kept in RO systems, like like those guys are in perfect conditions, and then they will stay in perfect conditions until they get to wherever they're going. And it's up to the person getting it, to keep it in perfect conditions.
He I
Right.
don't know if you've seen him when he was up there. He has like, I don't know, they're almost like feeder goldfish. They're not no specific or like Oranda
One of these
or
guys.
sure, yeah. But the
It's
babies
just,
right now. So I that's what I mean. I told him temporarily, if it really is temporarily, sure. But only
you have maybe, depending on how many he has maybe 3 months. And that's something that I've learned just mainly through experience because goldfish was like, I have a lot of other stuff now and I just started my reef tank, but for the longest, for a few years, I bred goldfish. I mean, not these guys right here, but like this kind right here. Like I was
yeah.
trying to work on, I was trying to work on my own line, but I ran
That
into an
dude is
issue with
too
genetics.
That dude is too cute. How he does a little shuffle. It almost looks
This
like he's
guy,
so fat. Yeah. I can't
his
help
name
but
is
to
Buford.
chuckle when I see him go across. Cause he's like slow but trying to move faster. Yeah, there he
His
goes
name
now
is
with his
Buford.
little shake.
Big Buford.
Yeah, yeah.
But he tries to breed with her, and because this is a big female common, but she will literally just be pecking at the sand or whatever, just doing what goldfish do best. And
Right.
then, she'll be doing that, and then where is he? That guy back there, the chocolate tie, this guy right here, and then this guy will be at the very, very back just trying to chase her because goldfish chase each other when they're trying to spawn. And this guy will
Yeah.
be literally on the other, trying to come to the other side of the tank, and then they'll just move back. And he's like, "Great, now I got to go to the other side." And it's the most funny thing to see this guy waddle. And it's kind of hard to see him
Yeah.
because the glare.
No, I can see it. I swear, every time I see him go across the screen, like I chuckle. That's adorable.
And he's always the last one to notice food in the tank. He's just kind of derpy. And it comes down to that goldfish are basically just special. Like that's a Tamasaba Ryukin, and like to be honest, I don't consider it a beginner fish. Like if I let
What a
my night
goldfish!
if I turn off the flow through system, the nitrate
Right.
when the nitrates start rising, he'll invert. Or if you feed him too much, he'll invert because they don't really have an idea of how much they should eat like most fish, but some of the bigger fish they'll eat and they're like, okay, I'm done, I'm full. These guys will just eat. Like you can, I
Right.
feed these guys probably 5 times a day.
What, just
But
small portions?
yeah, smaller port. I mean, well, not smaller. Like it takes them a minute or two to eat all the stuff, or at least get it into their mouth. But like, there's really
Right.
no amount that you can really feed these guys that is too much, as long as you're doing your keeping up with your parameters.
Right.
That's like a really big thing.
I overfeed my community that bow front downstairs, but it ain't overfeeding. Like I'll put 3 good-sized pinches, and the whole top's covered. Like, and then you'll watch it just start raining down. But I'm telling you, those community fish go ham on it. Now, my fish upstairs, they'll come to the glass and be even acting like they're hungry, but if they're full, they let you know it because they'll sit there and watch the food just fall right past their face. And I'm like, great, y'all, you were all acting like you were hungry, and now I got to clean that up. In fact,
Yeah,
that tank upstairs is getting a makeover after this live stream. I don't know if I'll do a full water change because truly, I haven't done one on it in, I'm afraid to admit, but probably 4 to 6 weeks. So I don't want to do something that's going to put everybody in shock. I was thinking like 25% and redecorate them. What's your thoughts?
well, I mean, if you're redecorating, I would, just take a few inches out so you're not splashing, and then I'd do your water change.
Okay.
Just to get the
Yeah.
stuff out.
Right.
Yeah, that was
Right.
tapping on the tank, so they think they're getting fed, and that's where they get fed. See, like I feed these guys once in the morning, then my fiance, because she works from home. Like this is basically her tank. I mean, I take care of it, but like I love
Right.
goldfish, and she really loves goldfish. These were the first fish that we, not these guys, but these are the first set of type of fish we bonded over. These are what got her into liking fish. So she feeds these guys literally throughout the day.
I've been trying new foods with the Oscar tank. I tried some tilapia, and believe it or not, the Oscars don't really dig it, but the Jag and the Devil and the Pleco dig it. Obviously, my eel likes the tilapia. Uh, I would say the Plecos in the 47-gallon like it. My Bysure likes it. Now, if you move to the juvie tank, the Oscar will eat it, and I think Flowerhorn and convicts eat on it. Kenny, the Kenny, he ain't really about tilapia, and I don't really think the iridescent shark is. Upstairs, that whole tank goes crazy over some tilapia. So yeah, I've been trying new foods, but my whole point with that is like, so when I wake up before work, they'll get some flakes, and then like every tank except the Oscar tank, usually they get their pellets or some worms or whatever. And then when I get home, I'll give them like I have frozen krill, frozen brine, blood worms, that type of thing, and then like right before bed, I'll do flakes again, depending on how I feel or whatever. But I just feel I do overfeed because I probably don't do the maintenance that I should. However, I'm glad you told me that I probably needed to test that water on that Jew tank, talking about stunting fish, because I don't want to stunt that dude, and I think just doing that water change has made a difference by far. I'm about to actually go back to it, pitch a peek at it real quick, and see if it's iridescent. Let me
Yeah.
go.
Hey, just
Oh,
so you know, my phone's on 2%.
oh, okay, buddy. That's cool. I'm
I'll just
probably
letting you
not gonna
know.
be. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna be on here much longer myself. I appreciate everybody coming in. The main part of the stream was obviously for Melissa. I don't know if you see that iridescent now. He's wanting to hide, and you can see all those dang babies in there. Well, maybe I need to clean this, but that's what I mean, dude. You were right. Obviously, I done the test, and the nitrates were kind of high, but I done that water change, and like those babies had been in there for a minute and finally hatched. So like, how is that possible? Like convict cichlids, I get it, they're hardy fish and stuff, but those nitrates were kind of ridiculously high, and somehow they still laid eggs and hatched.
It's the consistency. They've done tests to see what slowly raising nitrates can do for some of the hardier. I don't remember the fish. I mean, but we're getting to the point where like we're at like 2,000 parts per million. I mean, obviously you don't want to use that and be like, oh, okay, well I can have nitrates in my tank that are high, but
Yeah, no, no. I'm just more concerned for that iridescent, man. I see yours now in this video, and I want to see mine that big.
no, he'll get there. Hold your
Man,
horses because you're going to be saying something else. You're going to be saying the opposite once it's big.
right, right.
Hey,
But I mean,
you want to see my test kit?
yeah. Cooper, hey buddy, you came back. I hope you and your wife had a great Mother's Day or celebrated and all of that good stuff, man. I always appreciate you stopping in, smashing the like button on the video. Yeah, go ahead, Calvin.
That's the
Holy shit.
yeah.
It looks sophisticated.
This is the Flugel Master test kit. Actually, it's a Hagen. And of course, you know, my nice little piece of cardboard that shows me everything.
Is that
But
freshwater or salt?
both. It's got, I mean,
Yeah.
it is, this goes for a lot of stuff. Like there's a lot that I can test with this. But I mean, in all reality, I don't use most of it. There's like I'm big on not testing for ammonia or nitrite. If the tank is cycled, there's literally no reason to test for ammonia or nitrite unless the tank is new. But like
Right.
I will test, and honestly, I don't test consistently with my nitrates. It depends on the tank, but like usually it's, you know, if I know where my tank's at, but I consistently test like the saltwater tank, or I'll test the goldfish tank on TDS every now and then, the total dissolved solids, just to make sure that the unit that, or the thing that I use to take the chlorine, the carbon, basically a carbon block that I use to remove chlorine from the water, just to make sure there's no chlorine in it still. I also have a chlorine test kit, but I only test for nitrates maybe once a month, maybe, and I use strips. Now, people, like, I'm only going to pull out this test kit, at least aside from the saltwater tank. I'm only going to pull this out if there's something going on, you know?
Right, and that's me. And actually, I'm bad. I probably should at least use my test strips more often. Just in the habit, like once a month, test it and check.
Yeah.
Because ever since my tanks have been cycled, I'm just like, yeah, my tanks are cycled. I'm good.
Yeah.
Let's get some fish. You know?
I know what you mean. Or like if I add a large number of fish, or I add a new fish that's I know is going to increase the bioload, I'll watch the nitrates, because you're obviously going to have a little bit of an ammonia spike, but you just got to watch to make sure that I mean, I wouldn't even worry about the ammonia if your tank is cycled well, like for a while, not like a new cycle, but
Right.
I would just watch it to keep, because you're going to have a nitrate spike, and your nitrate's going to be higher. They're going to reach your water change point before you're usually used to it. You'll hear people talk about old tank syndrome often, and that doesn't mean that the person wasn't doing a water change. It just means they might have not been doing enough of a water change, or over the course of a few years, there's more stuff started building up in the nooks and crannies here and there, so nitrates are rising faster than what they did a year before. And
Right.
if you're changing the same amount of water, eventually, you could do a 50% water change and your nitrates be at 300 parts per million. Like, I've seen it many times. I've had it happen many times. So like
I hit 100 on that tank, man. I don't know if you've seen that in that chat. Like, that's why I said
Yeah.
I'm freaking horrible. Like,
Heck,
I
this
don't
tank
even
right
know
here.
how.
I mean, this tank right here behind me, I hit a 4 part per million ammonia spike on it as soon as I switched everything over, and I about crapped my pants. I'm like, holy crap! Like, oh, great, And then as
Right.
soon as, I mean, it caught up within, a day or two, like there was nitrates, and then my nitrates were insane. Like I was running like 200 parts per million with, water changes. I mean, eventually got back down, but
you see that?
yeah,
I literally put that in there today, trying to sneak it in there on them. It was back there, behind that, down buried under some rocks. There was a stone and everything. And I just noticed, yeah, see, she's getting sassy now because I'm pointing it out. But I just noticed that I uprooted my plant. However, they're letting this hair grass over here alone. I don't know if I'm freaking aiming on it or not. It's like a thin sword or something
yeah.
there. Okay, but it's in one of those aquarium co-op planners, so they can't get to it. Just like this little stuff right here. But yeah, you assholes literally pulled my plant while I was on stream doing it live. Like, yeah, let's do something. I literally just seen it floating up. My bad, man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, I don't know. I'm gonna try to replant it one more again, but it's terrible trying to do so. However, my Christmas mothballs, they survived. Oh, we lost Calvin, everybody. He said his phone was dying. Who's my one lonely viewer? Who's been here hanging out? Is that Michigan? Is that T-Bone? Who is it? Let me know who you are. One viewer. It's probably my old lady. Okay. Well, everybody, I'm going to end right there. I want to personally thank Melissa for coming on to our stream to tell us about her snails. I hope we can get her presence again on here. I hope you guys go show her some support on her Facebook group. The link will be in the chat. I'll put it in the description as well. I appreciate your time. I appreciate anybody who comes up here on the screen. If you are watching this for the first time and somehow you get to the end, which is 2 hours and 5 minutes, I want everybody to feel welcome to come up here and show us your thing. Let us know what you're excited about. What gets you going? For me, it's fish. I love fish. I love my group, Casualaquatics. I have a lot of good people in there. I ask all of you to come to Casualaquatics if you're on Facebook and engage in conversation, share pictures, photos, videos, ask questions. I want to thank my admin team. Without them, I couldn't do it. I would like to thank my mods on here that I'm starting to get, people that want to be a mod and stuff like that. I appreciate everything you do. Without further ado, stay fishy, folks, and until next time, we're out.